high-speed railway line is now under preparation under my supervision and guidance. We have not completed the DPR. It will take another 3 or 4 months more. But we have formed up or finalized all the technical parameters. We also finalized the cost that will have to be incurred, how it is to be executed. These things have been all finalized. And that is what I want to place before you today. The high-speed railway line will be from Thiruvananthapuram Central to Kannur over a distance of 465 kilometers, which can be covered in 3 hours and 20 minutes. The maximum speed or the design speed for this line is 200 kilometers per hour. But the operational speed, normally the operational speed is 10% less than the design speed. The operational speed is 180 kilometers per hour. But actually, because all the time the train cannot be run at that speed, there is acceleration, there is a deceleration. At the speed of 180, for 0 to 180 speed, the train has to travel nearly 4 kilometers. Similarly, for braking, it has to travel for at least 1 kilometer to come to 0 level. So if you take, and the station dwell time or the station stoppage time, if you take all these things, what we call the commercial speed, overall commercial speed of this line is 158 kilometers per hour. That is the speed. Earlier, our proposal was to have high speed with 350 kilometers maximum speed. I realized that having such a high speed and the stations about 45 to 60 kilometers apart is not going to help very much the common man. The line should be available for everybody. So we decided that the stations will be only about 20 to 30 kilometers apart only. So average is about 24 kilometers today from station to station. And on this 465 kilometers, there are 20 stations. And if you take out the N2 stations, the average distance between stations is coming to 24 kilometers. The stations are, it starts from Thiruvananthapuram Central. It starts as an underground station, it will be an underground station, and will be in tunnels towards the airport. The airport station also will be underground. From the airport, the lines will come above, and thereafter it will be mostly elevated. That means carried on pillars, mostly. After the 645 kilometers, we find that only 20-25 kilometers will be in tunnels, and the rest all elevated on piers. As I said, the stations are Thiruvananthapuram Central, Thiruvananthapuram Airport, Varkala, Kollam, Kottarakara, Pathanamthitta, Thiruvalla, Kottayam, Vaikam, Ernakulam, Nedumacheri Airport, Thrissur, Pattabi, Malappuram, Karipur Airport, Kozhikode, Koilandi, Vadagara, Thalassery, and Kannur. These are the 20 stations. You would have noticed that Out of these 20, 3 are at the airports. Trivandrum Airport, Kochi Airport, and Calcutta Airport. Right in the middle. So people can transfer very easily. But Kannur Airport is a little far away, about 12 kilometers away from our station. But we have made an arrangement by which electric buses, not small vans, will be running between the airport and the high-speed station at notified regular hours. So that it is almost as good as, again, serving the airport. I will call it as Kerala's high-speed railway line, although we are not given formally any name to this. This will be a double line, up and down line, on standard gauge. It's different from the Indian railway standard gauge of 5 feet 6 inches. Standard gauge is only 4 feet 8.5 inches. Out of these 20 stations, we have taken an entirely different route, not following the existing railway line. But there are a few stations where they are close to each other and easy interchange is possible. Oh, the trains consist of 8 coaches to start with. That means roughly 18 to 25, 200 meters long trains. But when the traffic increases, we can extend the length by another 4 coaches, that is 12 coaches total, and the maximum length of a train will be 300 meters. So all platforms will be only 300 meters. And every basic station is 2 platforms, left side and right side, that's all. The trains are very advanced technology. Trains which are now being adopted for the rapid RRT, Rapid Rail Transit System in Delhi. Same trains we have picked up, so that there is no need for going for a new, fresh design for the trains. The trains will have 3 doors on each side. As you see, because platforms are all one side. When the train comes from Kannur, everybody will be getting on the left side. When the same train goes towards Kannur, everybody will be getting in and getting on the left side. That is how the trains will work. We have tentatively decided that the trains will run every half an hour during peak hours and every 1 hour during non-peak hours. Peak hours are from 6 a.m. till 10 a.m. and again from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Rest of it all will be non-peak hours. If we run trains, peak hour trains, every half an hour, and assuming that the trains will be 80% occupancy, we will carry 45,000 riders every day, if it is only half an hour. But as I said, the capacity, the ridership increases. We can increase the length of the trains and also the frequency. We can then run trains every 5 minutes if you want. Every 5 minutes a train can run. And if that be the case, the train can carry 80% occupation if you take 5 lakh passengers a day. There's tremendous capacity for this section. Tremendous capacity. 5 lakh people traveling on the high-speed train. The trains, there will be no standing passengers on this train because at this high speed, it is not wise to allow people to stand. Only sitting passengers will be allowed. All, everybody will have to have seats, usually about 70 seats only in each train. That means the seats will be very, very comfortable, sufficient leg space, well furnished. We call it, you can call it, it's air conditioned all the time. There will be no catering on this train. All stations will be having all the facilities, but no catering at all permitted in the train. The same way as the metro, for example, Delhi metro, eating is not allowed in the train at all, because that creates a lot of confusion, dirty, and the people, catering people will be simply going up and down and creating a lot of congestion. So we have decided no catering at all on this train. Our main emphasis on this high-speed line is safety. Absolute safety and security of passengers. You may know that bullet train services started in Japan in 1965. And do you know, till now, not even one train accident involving passenger death have taken place in Japan. That is the highest level of safety that we have trained. And the other is comfort. Third is punctuality. The trains will be running exactly very, very punctual. Not a minute early, not a minute late. Every station, not merely the destination like what Indian Railways are. Here, every train will be punctual to the minute at every station. And the whole operation is going to be automatic train operation, ATO. That means the driver will be there, but everything is controlled locally. We have estimated the project cost for this, the number of this, for the initial stage. That means when we run trains only every half an hour, the project cost is going to be 54,000 crores, as against the K-Rail cost of 63,941 crores. We are expecting that this line, because it's all elevated, mostly elevated, and only about 20-25 kilometers of tunneling, the whole project can be completed in 5 years' time. Provided, I must mention, provided the concession is also taken over by Delhi Metro. When I mention Delhi Metro, not because I belong to Delhi Metro or I started Delhi Metro. Delhi Metro has got a very unique culture, which some of you would have noticed when we were constructing the Kochi Metro. Very precise, well in time, and very, very high quality of work. And in time, we'll finish all the projects. Now, this high-speed railway line, in any railway system or metro system, the operating and maintenance costs, what we call O&M costs, fall into 3 categories. One is energy cost. That is, the whole thing is being run on electricity. The cost of electricity. You know, the electrical cost, the energy cost in such system is 1/3 of the total E&M cost. And 1/3 is the staff cost, drivers, station managers, etc. 1/3 is the manpower cost. And 1/3 is repairs, maintenance, and depreciation charges. Based on that only, usually, the fare structure or the tickets are decided. In order to keep the cost of tickets very, very affordable, we have now decided that the entire system, we will not, all the energy required for the system will be produced by the system itself. Full power, energy requirement will be generated by the system itself through solar panels. Solar panels on the top of stations, on the top of the depot, and basically on the land that we are going to take. By the by, the land requirement is very, very small for this project. We are wanted to take only 20-meter wide strip of land for the elevated portion. When there is a tunnel, there is no requirement for any land acquisition because we are underground. Elevated portion, the 20-meter land is basically for construction stage. Once the construction is over, when the piles are driven, the columns are at that, and the girders are all at the top, this is done, then we don't need the land at all. So we have decided that the land will be given back to the original owner on lease basis and with certain conditions. Conditions are mainly that he cannot grow high trees, coconut trees, etc., and he cannot build houses. But he can do any cultivation underneath. He can graze cattle underneath, and it is as good as his own land coming back to him. So with this arrangement, and because of the narrow, our land requirement is only 1/4 of what was originally proposed for care rate project, only 1/4 of that. We don't expect much opposition to this project. And I'm very happy to inform you, I gave the first talk on this about a month back and repeated it again about 10 days back to his press and to the people. There was not even one instance of somebody saying that, no, we will not give the land, or this is not acceptable. Not even one negative response from anyone. Everybody is enthusiastic about this project. Now, I want to tell you, when I mentioned the ticket rates will be affordable, I can give a rough picture of how it is going to cost. For example, Trivandrum to Ernakulam, which is a distance of 237 kilometers, the time required is only 1 hour 20 minutes. Trivandrum to Kochi is only 1 hour 20 minutes. And ticket cost, that is air conditioned chair car cost is 440 rupees, as against 690 of Vande Bharat train. This ticket cost we have fixed exactly what Jan Shatabdi is charging. Jan Shatabdi is running whatever they are charging for air condition, that same charge we are charging, putting. Ernakulam to Calicut, 145 kilometers, will be covered in 1 hour 10 minutes, and the cost is only 420 crores. Calicut to Cananore, 83 kilometers, and the time taken is 50 minutes, and ticket cost is 305. Trivandrum to Kannur, whole distance, 465 kilometers. The time taken is 3 hours 20 minutes, and the ticket cost is only 780, as against 1,168 of Vande Bharat. The ticket cost is much less than even Vande Bharat trains. Even such a low cost, we expect to make sufficient profit, sufficient surplus to keep the system sustainable. Now, how are you going to execute this project? This is where the success of the whole thing comes. The project will be designed, executed, and operated by a special purpose vehicle, a new company that we formed. We may call it Kerala High Speed Rail Corporation or anything that the government decides. Of this company, 51% share will be that of Government of India and 49% share by the state government. That means the central government will be the owner of the project really, and they are responsible for planning, designing, execution, and also later on operating the whole line. State government only will be a partner into that. As I mentioned, the funding will be in this fashion. And with this arrangement, oh, not here. And of the total cost, now I mentioned to you it is 54,000 crores is the estimated cost. But in railways functioning, we always speak about the completion cost. What is the cost to the nation if the project is completed at that stage? We have estimated the completion cost is going to be 45,500 crores, out of which the Government of India burden will be only 20,000 crores and the state government's burden only 19,000 crores spread over 5 years. That means each government has to contribute only either 4,000 crores or 3,900 crores every year to the project, which is not going to be a big burden to the two governments. The remaining 30%, which will be raised through debt or through bonds, either tax-free bonds or taxable bonds, which we feel easily possible. Now, what is the immediate benefits of this project to the state or to the nation? This is very important. In the initial stages, as I told you, trains running at half an hour intervals, we expect about 45,000 riders traveling, out of which 30,000 would be switching over from the road to the rail. By the way, because we are running these trains almost with fares equal to the railways, and the time taken is only 1/3 of what the railways take, we expect a lot of railway people generally traveling in railways, Parshuram Express or anything, they will all shift into this train thereafter, because the travel time is only 1/3, the cost is the same, and better comfort and punctuality. Most importantly is punctuality. This punctuality, I am not just boasting before you, it is possible to achieve 100% punctuality like bullet trains. Bullet trains will be surprised to know. I have the figure only. for the 2023. 2023, you know, the punctuality of bullet trains in Japan, the trains were late only by 6 seconds average. That's all. At every station. If they could do it, why not we? Is my point. Now, immediate advantage by having 30,000 people switching over from the road to the rails is carbon dioxide emission from the road vehicles will come by 660 tons per day, CO2 emission. And because they have shifted on to this and this is being run on, it's all self-generated energy. Petrol and diesel saving will be 82 tons per day. When you go to the ultimate, that is 5 lakh passengers a day, which is expected to carry, then the CO2, carbon dioxide emission, will come down, 980 tons of carbon dioxide emission will not be there every day. And the saving diesel and petrol will be 3.5 lakh tons. Just imagine for the country saving 3.5 lakh tons, which is about 3,500 crores worth of fuel. And most important thing is, apart from this CO2 emission being eliminated and diesel and fuel saving that take place, the most important thing for Kerala is the road accidents. Many of you may know that today the road accident in Kerala per day is more than 45 per day. And about 10 to 12 people die every day on the roads. Every day, 10 to 12 people, fatalities on the roads. We expect that if out of these people traveling, 5 lakh people come over to this thing, the number of people on the roads will come down and the accidents will also come down to 50%. That means we'll be saving at least 5 to 6 lives every day being otherwise getting into every day dying on the road. This itself is enough justification for the high speed. We are going to save up to 5 to 6 people dying on the roads every day. This is the high-speed railway line that we are planning. This is the first line, but we have also planned subsidiary, or what we call, in the second phase, other lines, branch lines to the main line. The line will be extended to Kasaragod, and about 82 kilometers will be extended. Then there will be a line from Calicut to Wayanad, Kalpetta, which will be about 60 kilometers. And that can be covered in about 40 minutes. Calicut to Kalpetta will be only 40 minutes people can go, and 60, including the gradient. In a high-speed railway line, there are restrictions for the curves. Usually, the sharpest curve has got a radius of 1,900 meters. And only near the station where the speed comes down, we can go for shorter radii curves. Kozhikode to Kalpetta, Pattambi to Palakkad, 50 kilometers, This will be covered in 23 minutes, Pattambi to Palakkad. Then, if this line is extended from Pattambi to Palakkad, which we feel is the second phase, but I am sure both the state government and central government will insist that this may also be done along with the main project itself. If this is coming, Calicut to Palakkad can be covered in 52 minutes by the train. Calicut to Palakkad, only 52 minutes, whereas now they take about 2 hours. And if this extension comes, there is a plan to have what is known as a greenfield highway from Calicut to Palakkad. There is no need for that if this line comes. Its capacity is at least 10 times the capacity of the greenfield highway, and no accidents, no pollution, nothing. Then Thrissur to Palakkad, 52 kilometers, which can cover in 25 minutes. Thrissur to Guruvayur, 52 kilometers, which can be covered in 10 minutes. Similarly, Pathanamthitta to Pamba, a distance of 40 kilometers, which can be covered in 20 minutes. Just imagine the advantage of this high-speed railway line. And Tirunelveli to Parasara, that is our limit, where there is very heavy suburban traffic today, people can cover it in 13 minutes. That is Trivandrum to Parasara. The cost of the third phase, that is second phase, is only 35,000 crores. For all the that I have mentioned to you now. So this is the highlight of the high-speed railway line that DMRC is finalizing. I expect the DPR, although time given to me by the railway minister is 9 months, I hope we will be able to finish in about 3 to 4 months' time. By end of May, I am expecting that the DPR will be ready. That is the position. I don't mind telling you that if the BJP comes to power here in the next election, this project will start actual construction work itself in 3 months' time. We can start. It's possible. But any other government, I can't give that guarantee. We can expect that to happen. Just like Konkan Railway. You know, Konkan Railway, when it was started, 760 kilometers long Konkan Railway, passing through one of the most difficult terrains in the country. I was posted as the chairman, managing director. I started the work on 1st of July. But the approval from the government came in October only. After 4 months, the approval from the government came. By the time I started, so many things were done. So that is possible here also. If the same BJP government comes, if it's any other government, that guarantee cannot be given. That will be started in 4 months' time, and in 3 months of the new government taking over. This is the position. Now, if you have any doubts regarding this project, I am here to give you the reply.
What is the scope of private participation like Tatas?
Huh?
Tatas, like private participation, PPP. What I mean is, Air India was owned by Tatas. Government took it over, saw it and gave it back. Why can't it be possible for the your train, your railway, can be given to Tatas? They will execute anybody, Tatas or Adani, anybody, because you are telling government will delay, and I actually endorse that BJP can do wonders. No doubt of it. I endorse your opinion. Thank you, sir.
You see, railways, so far, we are not privatized railways anywhere, so far. It is possible. Probably the government, but there is no guarantee that Tata will be able to finish it earlier. I don't think anybody today in this country, apart from Delhi Metro Rail Corporation, who have got the experience, the knowledge, and the expertise to handle this job. Tata means they have to take obviously the DMRC team there.
Okay, sir.
Huh? Okay.
Sir, two questions.
Please.
Two questions, please.
Please.
One is, suppose you told 5-year schedule. You told 5-year time schedule for completing. What are the hurdles? Suppose we want to finish it in 3 years. One part. Second thing, when this is operational, conventional railway lines, maybe traffic may come down by half. So how we are going to utilize that part in a better way? Thank you.
Second part of it first. You see, the railway will welcome it because the railway is already so congested. They are not able to introduce any more trains. They are not able to increase the speed of the trains. So, if we are taking away 8 or 9 trains from railways, they'll be very happy. They can put new trains, increase the speed. That is possible. The second is how to finish in 5 years. I'll tell you. The same question was asked to me when I took over the Konkan Railway project by my minister at that time, George Fernandez. It's a 760-kilometer line. I said it will be finished in 7 years. He said, how come? How will you do it? Is it possible? I said, yes. I said, what I will do is, the 760-kilometer line, I will divide into 7 parts. Fortunately, each part is in a different district, and put one man in charge of each section. For one chief engineer to complete 100 meters of railway line in 7 years is nothing. It's very easy. So here also, the 465 kilometers, I will divide into 5 sections, and 5 chief engineers will be working simultaneously, independently. For one chief engineer to finish 100 kilometers of railway line in 5 years is not a difficult job at all. And today, we have very good contractors in the country, good contractors who are capable of doing this work very fast.
Sir, if the DPR is over by May 2026, then why not the central government, ruled by BJP, cannot declare that it will be done immediately after DPR is over?
BJP can't declare it unless they are in power. Because a lot of things have to be done by the state. Land acquisition by the state is required. Acquisition of land. Of course, the land acquisition is very not much. And people will not have any objection to give the land because they can take back the land if they want on lease. So we don't expect much trouble for land. It all depends on the state government. If the state government wants, they can get it done. But if it is BJP, it's very much easier to get that done. But this is need. This is need of the state, not the central government so much. Ah, good.
That is why it was completed. And the finance minister gave the writing approval in a paper. And the honorable minister later on used that for other projects.
That is possible. That is certainly possible.
Sir, my name is Joy. I appreciate the concept of your project, the features and components, compared to other state projects which are in pipeline or in the public domain. Sir, a few concerns or questions. First one, our project is addressing the north-south connectivity. North-south connectivity, majorly, first phase. But we have other projects ongoing as well as upcoming as well as running projects like National Highway. When it is through, some portion of the traffic will be attracted by the National Highway. And again, the current railway, they are planning expansions, thinking of third corridor. And again, the other modes of air transport that for high-level passengers. And when we complete the project, the other modes in which the capacity utilization will become less.
You are right.
I think.
You are absolutely right.
Then another thing, the state government is going with another project. Maybe the conflict of interest will be that, as your project suggested that SPV, already an SPV is in place with the government for taking up these type of projects. And third, about the economic feasibility. Normally when a transport corridor comes, the economic activities along these regions will flourish. But in this case, this being either flyover or below the ground, what about the economic activities connected to this corridor? And another point regarding the green energy. Green energy, solar, what is the technical feasibility you have arrived at? Is it run exclusively with the solar power? Is it technically possible? And another question regarding the material resources, say the rock or granite. Already we are in a crunch for finding resources for completing the National Highway Vidinyu and other projects. And what is the demand, what will be the projected demand for these material resources? And what is our plan to source these things? Thank you.
Well, I think I'll come back. Too many questions together. It doesn't matter. Materials, because it's elevated, the materials requirement is very little. There are no high embankments, there are no cuttings, and this is probably less than the material we spend on houses in the state today. That is one thing. And then, when you said that the capacity of the national highway, the capacity of the railways will be encroached upon, it's true, it will happen. And that is what we want. We don't want people to travel by road as much as possible. Why have the accidents? Why have the pollution? Just imagine traveling from Trivandrum to Kannur by road. How much money you are spending by car? We are spending by even bus. Why spend money, nation's money like that? And in fact, when the national highway is being made 6 lanes, over 45 feet wide road, wide land, I objected to it. I wrote to Mr. Gadkari at that time, this is a foolish decision. First of all, squeezing six lanes in 45-meter wide land is miserable. It's not current. Have you seen all these places where the approach roads they are very narrow, they are running out the drains, etc. That is what happened. So there was no need. I told him that the high-speed railway line, and I wrote him about 2 years back, high-speed railway line will come. There is no need for 6 lanes. Have only 4 lanes, which you can comfortably have. That was not done. So that will take place definitely. Railways, if this high-speed railway line comes, there is no need for them to go for a 3rd line or a 4th line. There's no need at all. The existing lines are more than enough. Because all the local trains will not come. They all can be withdrawn. It's only the long distance trains going to other states and the goods trains. That capacity is already there. This capacity also can be doubled by changing the signaling system. So why is the need for a third and fourth line?
So, the tension involved in time from Trivandrum to Kannur is so much
And that is true. That is true.
Hello, my name is Raju Thomas. I have a question on the budget estimate. Probably, okay, the detailed budget is yet to come, but I recall that basically the K-rail which was proposed by Kerala government at that time, it was on the embankment and it was costing somewhere around 64,000 crores. But the central government or Niti Aayog, they assessed that it is roughly going to cost somewhere around 1,25,000 crores. Now, how maybe is it because of the land acquisitions which you have reduced, the cost is coming down to this extent, or because of some construction methods, novel construction methods?
The main reason, which I forgot to tell you there, the main reason is we have gone for standard gauge. And we are running only passenger trains, no goods trains. That means we are running the axle load, in this case, is only 16 tons. Whereas K-rail, the axle load is 25 tons. You can imagine, it's a huge structure they have to build. Here is a very light structure. Axle load difference. That is one reason. And at that time...
Sir. Thank you, sir, for this. Excuse me. Sir, I'll give you the mic in 2 minutes.
One at a time.
Hello, sir. Thank you so much for explaining such a complicated project in such simple terms with the being major highlights. 1 or 2 points just, I'm sure you would have considered, just want to know. One is like in other countries like KLL and other places, we are connecting here the 3 airports we are connecting. Do we have a facility to check in our baggage in the cities so that we can travel without our baggage and then it is already checked in for the airport? Is that facility considered?
I forgot to mention to you.
That's one. That's one.
No, let me say. I forgot to mention that. This train is very convenient to carry baggages because it is touching airports. And airport people come with heavy, huge luggages. So what we have done is, the train floor level and the platform floor are exactly the same. And the gap is only 1.5 inches. So anybody can drag his own trolley, and wheelchair people can themselves wheel inside. And in the train, we have made 2 arrangements. One is heavy baggages, a separate enclosure, but heavy baggage can be kept. And for wheelchairs and prams, ladies need not take away the child from the pram. With the pram, they can simply walk in. A separate place for that also, and which can be stabled and secure properly. That arrangement is there.
Thank you so much, sir. That is a very good highlight. One more question is that when Vande Bharat was introduced, there was too much pelting of stones and other damage to many properties. Here also, we don't know how it will be. So have we done any protection for the lines that is going to be put up there? Avoiding from elevator also, still people can do it.
Sorry, sir. I am actually a product of NSS Engineering College, Palakkad. See, the thing is that now Kerala is becoming a Vriddha Sadhana. Kerala is becoming a Vriddha Sadhana. Vriddha Sadhana. Old age home. Actually, in case this project is getting materialized by our next generation, that makes our children, whether they will not go out of Kerala because of this industrial growth and other social parameters. And also one more thing is there, when this project is getting implemented, what are the precautionary measures that the Kerala government as well as the central government has to take? Because there is a joint venture production. So we will take the administration and everything. And also there should be a growth in industrial growth and also employment opportunity. Because Kerala is now actually, the children are going out. So this is the only simple question I want to, and also if I first of all congratulate in the endeavor that you are taking in it. All the best, sir.
You see, regarding the ownership of the line, I made it very clear. It is a Government of India project. State government is a partner in the project. The state government is reaping the advantages and benefits of the project. Central government only goes and then does it planning, execution and operating. They will do. There is no problem. Like Konkan Railway. They are exactly on the pattern of Konkan Railway. Konkan Railway also is central government project, but going through 4 other state governments, no problem. That is one thing. The other is...
Hello. Sreedharji, ഞാൻ അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ പ്രഭാഷണം മുഴുവനായി കേട്ടു, പണ്ടും കേട്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്, ഇന്നും കേട്ടു. എനിക്ക് ഇദ്ദേഹത്തിനോട് ഈ സന്ദർഭത്തിൽ ഇവിടെ വെച്ച് പറയേണ്ട ഒരു കംപ്ലൈൻ്റാണ്. അതായത് സെൻട്രൽ റെയിൽവേ സ്റ്റേഷനിൽ നിന്ന് എറണാകുളത്ത് പോകണ ഇന്ന് 5.5 മണിക്കൂറാണ്. ഇദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ പുതിയ പ്രോജക്റ്റിൽ 3 മണിക്കൂർ 20 മിനിറ്റ് കൊണ്ട് സെൻട്രൽ ടു കണ്ണൂരെത്താം. കുറച്ച് പൈസയേ ഉള്ളൂ. ഇതിന് എന്തെങ്കിലും ഗവൺമെൻറ് ഓഫ് ഇന്ത്യയെ കൂടി 5.5 മണിക്കൂർ സമയം എടുക്കുകയാണ്. 5.5 മണിക്ക് രാവിലെ തമ്പാനൂർ റെയിൽവേ സ്റ്റേഷനിൽ കയറിയാൽ 5.5 മണിക്കൂർ കഴിഞ്ഞാലേ എറണാകുളം നോർത്തിലെത്തുള്ളൂ. വൈകുന്നേരം അതുപോലെയാണ്. രണ്ടാമത് അപ്പോൾ അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ ഈ പുതിയ ഈ പ്രോജക്റ്റിൽ പറഞ്ഞത് സെൻട്രൽ റെയിൽവേ സ്റ്റേഷനിൽ നിന്ന് എയർപോർട്ടിൽ നിന്ന് കൊല്ലം ടു കൊട്ടാരക്കര. ഈ കൊട്ടാരക്കര കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ പിന്നെ പത്തനംതിട്ട കോട്ടയം പറഞ്ഞല്ലോ, റൂട്ട് പറഞ്ഞല്ലോ. അപ്പോൾ അവിടുത്തെ ജനവാസ മേഖലയിലൂടെ പോകുമ്പോൾ എന്തുമാത്രം ആളുകൾ ഒഴിപ്പിക്കേണ്ടി വരും, അതിനുള്ള ബാധ്യത ഒന്നും. മൂന്നാമത്തെ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ, 5 കൊല്ലത്തിനകം ഇദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ പ്രോജക്റ്റ് അംഗീകരിക്കണമെന്ന് നടപ്പാക്കണമെന്നാണ് ഇദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ പ്രഭാഷണത്തിലെ മുഖ്യ പ്രതിപാദ്യം. പക്ഷേ ഇന്നത്തെ ഈ കപട രാഷ്ട്രീയക്കാരുടെ നാടായ ഈ കേരളത്തിൽ ഇത് നടക്കുമോ എന്ന് എനിക്ക് ഭയാശങ്കയുണ്ട്. ഇത്രമാത്രം.
It is not possible to reduce the traveling time on the existing track because there is a limitation of speed. Some place only 100 kilometers, some place only 80 kilometers. Changing that is very difficult. So you have to live with that. That is why this alternative is being given. And they can utilize it. Today, goods movements are suffering very badly because of too many passenger trains. That will go away. The other is, you are suspect. Huh? No, wherever there is a number of houses involved, people are being evicted, we go underground. That is why, wherever there is too many people being affected, or we will go underground. That is why I said about 25 kilometers in my calculation I kept for to go underground.
Thank you very much for a very, very enlightening speech. There are several novelties in this one. That's what really attracts me to your idea. The first thing is, this actually is self-managed. It is self-managed. That means you are dividing it into different areas and then having the construction entrusted to the local authorities. So the division of the job into different packets, that really is speeding up the project. That's a very interesting concept. Second thing is, it doesn't affect the local people, because he was mentioning about the problem with the other people who are using the land. Here, mostly it is on pillars. So you are not actually using the land for it. So it's all on the above the ground. It's like a flight, basically. That's a very, very interesting idea. And so thank you very much for introducing such new ideas in this one. These new ideas are going to be helpful for the next generation to catch on and then go further on this line. Thank you very much for this one.
Sir, I just would like to...
We have to wind up the program, so only one or two questions more only. Then if at all any questions, you can write in a paper and I think we will hand over to him.
Yeah, I fully endorse the requirement of a high-speed railway line for Kerala. And it's a requirement for Kerala. And that only will improve the economic condition of the Kerala state. So I really appreciate the efforts being taken by you again and again so that it will come through. My only one question which you did not address, probably I do not know, that the interconnectivity between the rail and the earth is done. But what about the existing railway line to this one?
That I mentioned to you, half the stations have got this connectivity with the existing. Half the stations. They can change over. Others not. Now, one thing I forgot to tell you. This is going to be the first railway line in the country which is completely green. First totally green railway line. We don't take any electricity from KSEB. We can sell. We'll be selling part of the electricity that we produce to KSEB.
My name is Fami. I'm basically from Singapore. Thank you very much, sir. Your excellent, fantastic talk. It's a fantastic idea for our Kerala state. But I want to say some humble request to you beside these projects. See, Trivandrum Corporation is under BJP leadership now. But see, Trivandrum Metro is a big talk about in front of us. So can you do something for Trivandrum Metro as soon as possible? That is because BJP in power, they can achieve it. Then people become confident based on that. That is my first feeling.
Trivandrum Metro, you may probably know that. The metro work was started by me in 2015 and 16. We have prepared a detailed project report, set up officers, recruited engineers and started the work. But the government came and stopped it. They said, no, we don't want metro immediately. That is not our priority. So, but what they did, the mistake they did was, they did not continue with the work that we started. They handed over the whole work to Kochi Metro, KMRL. And KMRL has changed the whole project. All changed it in such a way that it is very dangerous, very disastrous.
And the last question I think you can ask. I think because we are running out of time, he has to leave immediately to catch the train, evening train.
The Kochi Metro has changed it to a sort of a major metro. My design was, it's a light metro project. Light metro project, not only light metro project, very simple, very easy curves it can take, no vibration, no noise, because it has what is known as linear induction motor for driving the trains. Limb, what is called limb, which is no vibration, not much of a noise, and it can take very sharp curves, so the building did not be destroyed. Unfortunately, they made it same as Kochi Metro. I don't know why.
Hello, sir.
if BJP comes to power, I can assure you, we will restart the Trivandrum metro again with the old designs and the old concept.
Hello, sir. I have a question. Sir, you mentioned that the train route will be going by Trivandrum, Varkala, Kollam, Kottarakara, and Tiruvalla. So why can't we use the Trivandrum, Kollam, Alappuzha, Ernakulam route? Because that would be somewhat viable. Because the distance would be somewhat less, and also we can reach very fast also.
See, Alappuzha and all that already got some sort of rail facility, but Pathanamthitta doesn't have. But we are trying to do places where rail has not gone at all so far. It will be very, very useful.
Yes, sir. Thanks to our Sreedharan sir for the excellent presentation. On behalf of all of you present here, just our chairman will be garlanding him with a ponnada. Sir. One question has come through mail, I think. So just you will be honoring him, sir. So we were waiting for this lecture for the last, I think, few years at least, we can say that. And we were hearing about this the high-speed train for Kerala for the last 5 years or so. So let us hope we will be able to get the high-speed rail and train for Kerala.